The ongoing saga surrounding TikTok has become a focal point in the complex web of China-US relations, illuminating deeper geopolitical tensions that extend far beyond a popular social media platform. As the Biden administration continues to grapple with the implications of TikTok's operations in the United States, analysts are increasingly concerned about the broader ramifications for diplomatic ties between the two nations. At the heart of the issue is TikTok's parent company ByteDance, which is based in Beijing. The app's rapid rise in popularity among American users has sparked fears within the U.S. government regarding data privacy and national security. Officials argue that the Chinese government could potentially access sensitive user data, a sentiment echoed by multiple congressional hearings and public statements from various administration officials. While TikTok is a platform for entertainment and social interaction, it also raises significant questions about data security and foreign influence, noted a Brookings Institution report. This perspective has fueled calls for stricter regulations and, in some instances, a complete ban on the app. The ramifications of such actions could lead to a significant backlash from China, which has already expressed its discontent over perceived American overreach in tech regulation. Recent events have seen TikTok facing potential divestment demands from U.S. authorities, similar to previous measures taken during the Trump administration. The Biden administration's approach, however, appears to be more nuanced, focusing on negotiations and potential compromises rather than outright bans. This shift reflects a broader strategy of engagement rather than confrontation, albeit one that remains fraught with challenges. The implications of the TikTok saga extend far beyond the app itself. Experts suggest that it encapsulates a larger narrative about technology security and economic competition between the US and China. This isn't just about TikTok, it's about the race for technological supremacy and the power dynamics that come with it, said a prominent political analyst. The continued scrutiny of TikTok may set a precedent for how other Chinese technology companies operate in the U.S. market. In the context of the evolving relationship between the two superpowers, any drastic measures against TikTok could lead to retaliatory actions from China, potentially impacting American companies operating in the region. The specter of a trade war looms large as both countries navigate a landscape marred by distrust and competing interests. Looking ahead, the outcome of the TikTok saga will likely serve as a litmus test for U.S.-China relations, as both countries prepare for future negotiations. It will be essential to monitor how they address issues of technological sovereignty and data security. The stakes are high not just for TikTok but for the broader economic and diplomatic landscape that defines the relationship between the U.S. and China in the years to come. In recent developments, the ongoing trade tensions between the United States and China have escalated, with President Donald Trump implementing a 10% tariff on all Chinese imports. This move, reflecting a long-standing grievance with Beijing, aims to address the significant trade deficit the U.S. has experienced with its Asian counterpart. As the tariffs take effect, the implications are far-reaching, not just for the two superpowers but for global trade dynamics, particularly in regions closely tied to China, including Vietnam. President Trump's decision to push ahead with the tariffs despite pausing similar measures against Canada and Mexico underscores the depth of the U.S.-China economic rift. Economists including Neil Shearing from Capital Economics emphasize that the U.S. grievances with China are rooted in deep-seated economic imbalances. The grievances with China are far more genuine than grievances with Mexico or with Canada, Shearing stated, highlighting the historical context behind the tariffs. The tariffs are part of a broader strategy to bring manufacturing jobs back to the U.S. and reduce the trade gap, which reached a staggering $295 billion in 2024. While American consumers have enjoyed lower prices due to the influx of inexpensive Chinese goods, Trump argues that this has come at the cost of domestic economic security and manufacturing capabilities. As Jim Reed from Deutsche Bank noted, the U.S. produces 15% of the world's manufactured goods while China accounts for a whopping 32%, creating a precarious dependency on global supply chains. China's response has been swift, announcing retaliatory tariffs on U.S. products, including a 10% tax on crude oil and agricultural machinery. These actions are expected to hit hard in American manufacturing hubs, particularly in states that overwhelmingly supported Trump in the last election. A Brookings Institution analysis indicates that nearly two-thirds of jobs affected by the retaliatory tariffs are in regions that favored Trump, suggesting a complex relationship between economic pain and political loyalty. As the trade war intensifies, neighboring countries like Vietnam are bracing for potential fallout. Prime Minister Pham Minh Chinh has instructed his cabinet to prepare for a possible global trade war, expressing concerns over the unpredictability of the situation. The tariffs threaten to raise costs for Vietnamese consumers and may lead to increased pressure from China to import more goods. Analysts predict that as U.S. markets close to Chinese products, companies in China may pivot to regional partners like Vietnam, further complicating the economic landscape. In a bid to restore balance, Trump has hinted at broader trade measures, including reciprocal tariffs on countries that impose taxes on U.S. exports. This approach aims to create a more equitable trading environment but could unleash a wave of new trade disputes. The president's recent announcement to temporarily allow low-cost Chinese products to enter the U.S. tariff-free adds another layer of complexity, reflecting the ongoing tug-of-war over trade policies. The ramifications of these tariffs extend beyond immediate economic concerns. They touch on geopolitical strategies and alliances. With Trump's administration seeking a grand bargain similar to the Plaza Accord of 1985, there are questions about how China will respond. While Beijing has expressed a desire to boost domestic demand and reduce its reliance on exports, the stark realities of past agreements loom large. In conclusion, the evolving trade environment between the U.S. and China signals a pivotal moment not only for the involved nations but for the entire global economy. As both countries navigate this turbulent landscape, the potential for new trade conflicts remains high. The impact of these decisions will reverberate through supply chains, local economies, and consumer markets, shaping international relations for years to come. As stakeholders watch closely, the question remains, how will these tariffs reshape the future of U.S.-China trade in the broader economic landscape? In a significant display of geopolitical alignment, U.S. President Donald Trump and Japanese Prime Minister Shigeru Ishiba convened at the White House to reaffirm their commitment to countering Chinese influence in both economic and security domains. Their meeting, held on February 7, 2025, comes amid escalating tensions in the Indo-Pacific region, where the two nations are increasingly concerned about China's assertive military posture and its implications for regional stability. During a joint press conference, Trump highlighted the recent approval of nearly $1 billion in foreign military sales to Japan, which includes the potential sale of Standard Missile 6 Block I missiles valued at approximately $900 million. "We will have the strongest military by far in the world, far stronger than China, far stronger than anybody," Trump declared, emphasizing the U.S. commitment to maintaining a formidable military presence. The SM-6 missile system, known for its versatility in anti-air, anti-ship, and anti-ballistic missile capabilities, symbolizes the deepening military ties between the U.S. and Japan, both of which are keen on bolstering their defenses amid growing regional tensions. The meeting underscored a broader strategy to ensure a free and open Indo-Pacific, a phrase that has become a cornerstone of U.S. foreign policy in the region. Trump and Ishiba assured that their nations would work closely together to maintain peace and security, with the president reiterating his mantra of peace through strength. This cooperative stance is perceived as a direct response to China's expanding influence, particularly in contested territories where Japan has historical disputes. The backdrop of this alliance is a rapidly evolving tech landscape, where U.S.-China tensions are manifesting in the form of economic sanctions and trade restrictions. The U.S. government has increasingly targeted Chinese technology firms, adding prominent players like Huawei, Tencent, and CATL to its Chinese military companies CMC list. These sanctions stem from concerns over national security and the potential military applications of technology developed by these companies. Notably, Huawei has faced accusations of espionage, while Tencent's WeChat app has raised alarms regarding data privacy and security. The implications of these actions extend beyond the immediate economic concerns. They threaten to ignite a tech Cold War that could disrupt global supply chains and stifle innovation. As the U.S. continues to tighten its grip on Chinese tech firms, the ripple effects are likely to be felt worldwide, prompting other nations to reconsider their own technological alliances and dependencies. Interestingly, while tensions mount, some companies are finding themselves in a paradoxical position. For instance, Illumina, a leader in DNA sequencing technology, is navigating the complex landscape of US-China relations, facing both challenges and opportunities in an increasingly fragmented market. Such dynamics illustrate the nuanced consequences of geopolitical strife, where some sectors may benefit from heightened competition while others suffer. As the US and Japan bolster their military and economic collaboration, the question remains, how will China respond? Recent reports of Chinese warships shadowing U.S. and allied vessels in the Pacific highlight the potential for escalated military encounters. The evolving situation suggests that the coming months will be critical in shaping the future of U.S.-China relations as well as the broader security framework in the Indo-Pacific. Looking ahead, the trajectory of this alliance will likely influence not only military strategies but also technological advancements and economic policies. With both nations poised to assert their interests, the global community watches closely, anticipating developments that could redefine the balance of power in a region fraught with uncertainty and competition.